What's going on, y'all? What it is. So let's go ahead and slide into this topic, and I want to talk about this interesting story that's developing around Jason Derulo. If you guys don't know who he is, he's an R&B singer, pretty successful and does his thing, right? Now, what's going down is that you have an inspiring singer by the name of Emaza Gibson, and I hope that I'm pronouncing her name correctly. If I'm not, then that's your name today, baby. It is what it is. So she's suing Jason for SA, and she goes into graphic details about certain encounters that she had with Jason Derulo and things of that nature. Now, what I want to do is take the time to read to you guys what Emaza had to say about the encounters and the interactions that she had with Jason. And so let's go ahead and get into it. And it says here, singer Emaza Gibson is suing R&B star Jason Derulo for SA, alleging that he dropped her from his label after she refused to bump uglies with him. In a complaint filed Thursday in Los Angeles County Superior Court, Gibson says Derulo contacted her in August of 2021 to sign her as a solo artist to his label Future History, and she began working with him in November of 2021 with the promise of collaborating on an album, but she claims Derulo repeatedly pressured her to drink and have blank with him, alleging that there was an explicit demand for blank in exchange for success. Among many claims, the lawsuit alleges that at one point Derulo told Gibson that if she wanted to be successful in this business, she would be required to partake in goat skin and fish scales, which is a Haitian reference to conducting rituals, sacrificing a goat blood, and doing flour. Okay? All right, you guys can read what it actually says. The lawsuit claims that the manner and timing of such a statement meant that Derulo was demanding SX from Gibson in order for Derulo to fulfill his role as her mentor, supervisor, and musical collaborator. In the complaint, Gibson alleges that Derulo would often schedule late night 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. studio sessions and repeatedly invite her to drink. The lawsuit claims Derulo constantly pressured Gibson to drink with him despite Gibson repeatedly expressing she's not a drinker. As a pretext, Derulo would assure Gibson he would arrange for an Uber to take her home. In another incident, the lawsuit claims that during a late night recording session, Derulo again asked Gibson to have a drink with him. Gibson reluctantly agreed to have a drink with Derulo, but she was given inappropriately large amounts of alcohol, the suit says. After this session, where Gibson declined to drink and have blank with him, Derulo, the offer to arrange for Gibson to get to and from Derulo's studio ceased, the complaint says. The lawsuit says Derulo eventually stopped responding to Gibson's messages, and that in September 2022, she was dropped by Future History and Atlantic. Along with Derulo and Future History, the complaint lists Atlantic Records, which has a joint venture with Future History, Derulo's manager Frank Harris, and RCA Records as defendants. In an interview Wednesday with NBC News, Gibson said the whole situation was very heartbreaking. I have anxiety. I'm traumatized. I've dealt with inhumane work situations. I'm at the point where I'm back to zero and I have nothing, Gibson said. Alright, so we heard what Emaza had to say about this situation, right? And so I will say that she was very graphic and detailed in explaining what transpired during her time with Jason. Now, I will say that when she started talking about the sacrificing thing, my antennas were up and in full attention due to the fact that we've heard about the sacrificing thing that goes down in Hollywood all the time, right? You have to pay the price to be somebody. And so at the end of the day, I'm not saying that this is true. I understand that Jason has a right to due process. Now, Jason did speak on the situation briefly, and this is what he had to say.
Fight!
I wouldn't normally comment, but these claims are completely false and hurtful. I stand against all forms of harassment, and I remain supportive of anybody following their dreams. I've always strived to live my life in a positively impactful way, and that's why I sit here before you deeply offended by these defamatory claims. God bless.
Alright, so you guys heard what Derulo had to say about the situation. Now, what's funny to me is that when you have these male celebrities in particular that are faced with these type of accusations, they always want to come on camera and appear to be so soft-spoken, don't they? They really do. But anyway, she went on to say that Jason jumped in her face for being late to the studio at one point in time, and she said that he was so aggressive that she had to step back and put her hand over her chest because she was so flabbergasted that he approached her in that manner. Now, it's a believable story because we hear about these things going down in Hollywood all the time, right? And again, I will, reiterate that Jason does deserve his right to due process. But again, she was just a little bit too precise and detailed to me. You know what I'm saying? Just keeping it all the way real. But anyway, I'm gonna let it go. I want you guys to drop down in the comments and let me know what you think about this whole entire situation. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And until next time, peace.